Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have games at home against Swedish club Malmo and an away game in the league against Rangers. In terms of our recent form, we've continued to do well since the second leg against Midtjylland. We've only had the two league games though, however, but a 4-1 win against Ayr followed by a nice 1-0 win against Hearts has seen us actually go top of the league for the first time this season, courtesy of Celtic dropping points in consecutive games against Rangers and St Johnstone. They drew 0-0 in both of those games, and despite their goal difference, they seem to be just struggling to score one or two goals in the last few matches. So overall, with our 4 wins and the 1 defeat, which was against Hibernian, we are sat top by a point, and as we go into this game against Malmo, it's going to be incredibly tough for us. It's our first ever group stage match in the Champions League, and it's a little bit of a funny way of doing it, but this is how the format's going to be in, I think, a couple of years' time, and it's a bit of a strange one, and it's a full league table. So the way it's split, the top 8 automatically qualify for the round of 16, 9th to 24th qualify for a playoff to get into the round of 16, and from that playoff you can also qualify for the Europa League. So that is where we want to be. We want to try and get into that section, really. Getting into the top 8, let's be honest, probably it isn't going to happen. But this game against Malmo is one of 2 games in the fixtures we've been provided with, which I think we could get results in. It is going to be very difficult, but if we can get a result here, it would certainly go a long way to pushing us on for that top half positioning, if you see what I mean. And once this highlight is finished, I'll just switch it to the league table as Ashcroft tries to win possession for us here, and Busanello finds Isle. Busanello and Nanasi now exchanging passes with Pena. Isle into Lamotte. Now Chalush into Zaidan and Sejdu, and that is played through, and Quinones did well to put off Zaidan. It was a very good effort from Malmo's perspective, but from our point of view, we've gotten quite lucky there. So this is the new format. If you look to the right hand side, as you can see, it's just one big league table. Top 8 qualify there, and then 9 to 24 qualify for a playoff. And all the teams below that, I think, as far as I'm aware, they'll just get knocked out. So our aim, if we can, is to somehow get into this top 24. There's a lot of, obviously it's the Champions League, there's a lot of very good teams in this. If we can get a couple of victories against one or two of these teams, I genuinely think we could do well. It's not about the other fixtures, it's just about what we can do, but we will see what happens in this game, and hopefully, like I say, we can get a good result. Going forward, of course, we are playing quite well. We've won every game apart from that game against Hibernian, so we're really looking solid. And again, if we can continue in that manner, we will do well this season. And hopefully, like I say, in the Champions League as well, financially it is a huge benefit if you can win a couple of games. But even draws, you still get over £1 million per draw as well. So any kind of positive result will go a long way for the club. And as you can see, possession-wise, we're not doing great. But in terms of chances, we have been the more creative side. But here is Nanasi pushing down that left-hand side. Ashcroft trying to win possession. Busanello picks it up. And he's under pressure by Lulic, who couldn't win it. And now Lamotte gets the strike away and he's hit the crossbar. Bismarck does clear. Quinones into Ashcroft. And we manage to get it away. Overall, quite an even game. And it's showing exactly where we're at, really. Malmo and I think it was AEK Athens are the two teams we've been drawn against. That if we're going to do anything in this competition, we need to win those 2 games, and hopefully we can do so here. And Helder Sar holding on to it. It's come for Keskin, and it's cleared by Isle. Really good effort from our point of view. It was a well-worked opportunity, but we just couldn't get the full strike away. And at half-time, it is currently 0-0. I'll take that, to be honest. We have had a few yellow cards, which is a concern. I'm not really sure how to approach it, to be honest, for the second half. we have played well, but again, as you can see from the match ratings, we're not looking great, and Lulic has been particularly poor, as has O'Donnell, and Canunes has to be fair as well. I think I'll go for a disappointed. It's not. I've got to be careful because we're not favourites for any of these games, so we have to bear that in mind. But hopefully, like I say, we can achieve something in this second half. As we approach 55, well, it's just gone over, in fact, 55 minutes. I am going to take these yellow carded players off. The last thing we need is any suspensions in the Champions League. And to be quite honest, it's not been the best of games for us. We've looked a little poor at times. I'm going to switch the Paredes into the midfield. John James can drop back a little bit. Lulic is definitely coming off. He has been terrible today. Matikujo is going to come on. Gararapa isn't fully fit, so I don't want to risk him just yet. We did that last time out, and it didn't work in our favour. Almasi hasn't looked at the races either so far, but all it takes is one chance. The yellow carded players are going to come off for now, and we'll see how we get on for the next 15 or 20 minutes. Hopefully, like I say, we can be relatively creative. Having Paredes in that midfield, I think, is going to be vital in any game for the Champions League. He's got that Champions League experience. He's got that international experience. So we are in a position where he will certainly become a very key player for us as the season goes. As you can see, we are struggling a little bit for fitness now, and it is a little bit of a concern, but we're going to have to just have a look and see what we've got. Like I said, I don't want to be bringing Gararappa on, but we've not really got many other options, unfortunately. Rory McLeod's going to come on for Almasi. And in terms of left midfield, we haven't got another option at the moment. So Polidoro is just going to have to try his best to carry on. And I think we'll leave it at that. We have got one more change we can make as we go into the last 20 minutes or so. And it's possible that it's going to be a central midfielder that will come off, but we will see. Helder Sar, of course, is currently our only left back, so we've got to be mindful of him because Serkin is currently injured. But the fact that we're not conceding is also a big positive right now. We've only had 2 shots on target, which isn't good enough, really. We are going to bring Keskin off, and we're going to bring Fiorini on in that midfield. And hopefully that extra little bit of energy will be enough just to see the game out now. We just need one big opportunity. A goal would be huge for us as we come toward the end of the game. I don't think it's going to happen though. Malmo have controlled possession really. Yes, we've been creative up front, but nothing has really come of it. But a 0-0 draw in our first ever Champions League group game as a football club, it's not too bad. I'm quite happy with that really. It's not a defeat. We've got something that we can build on. And again, a draw financially is a good result. And from that, obviously, we are fighting it out with a lot of teams so far, and it's very difficult to tell after one game. But obviously, we're ahead of many big teams right now because some of the big teams have lost. But we'll see how we get on. We've got 2 days between now and the Rangers game. We've actually received £800,000 for the draw. So again, not bad at all. Just pretty much, yes, £200,000 short of £1,000,000, but in a club the size of ours, it's a really good positive for us, really. And with a couple of days to go until the Rangers game, I will just do that off camera, and hopefully we can push on from that Malmo draw and get a good result in the league and continue our top of the table charge. Okay then, here we go for the away game against Rangers. Obviously we are away, it is going to be a really tough game. And one thing I neglected to mention last time out was we actually made a sale at the end of the transfer window. And yeah, we didn't sign many players in the end. I think last time you were with us, we'd already signed these 4 players. But one thing we did do, Fraser Sharp ended up leaving for a Portuguese side, Guimarães, and he left for £1.7 million. He is worth pretty much double that. but he wasn't quite getting that development. I know he wasn't playing very much, but he didn't quite get that development. So we decided in the end it'd be better to offload him and get the money in the bank. So here we go for the game away at Rangers. It's going to be a bit of a tough one where the squad's concerned, but hopefully we will be able to field quite a strong team despite the fitness concerns that we've had. And Gary Rapper is fully recovered from his injury, but he isn't fully fit, so we're going to have to just watch him here. He is back in the side today. We did this last time and he got injured again, so it is going to be something that we've got to be careful of, but hopefully, like I say, it will work in our favour and we will be able to get a good result and a good performance out of him as well. He's very vital to this team. We know how good he is. He did really well last season. Largely played out wide, but Almasi does seem to have lost his quality a little bit recently. But hopefully Gararappa can fill those boots and we can just really push on, to be fair. And it is going to be tough, but we've got to play him again in the Cup. So, bad result here. Let's try and beat him in the Cup. Good result here. Let's still try and beat him in the Cup, but we've got the beating of them at that point. We did beat them, of course, toward the end of last season. Personally, I think they were doing us a favour because they didn't want to see Celtic win the title. But we'll see how it goes. Here's Digberiku into Paredes. Plays it forward and Lulic could be in behind here. He has Gararappa in support, but he plays it back to Ashcroft. Can he get the ball in? He plays it in. Looking for Azak Kesgin, and O'Donnell picks it up and finds Digberiku. Back to Azak Kesgin. Now Graham. Really patient build up here. Quinones has support ahead of him if he can find it. O'Donnell over the top here for Lulic. Great chance, and he's put it over the crossbar. He isn't the best finisher, Lulic. We've seen it time and time again. But his pace and the way he plays on that right hand side. Yes, he's had poor performances, but his pace is always a threat. But like I say, his finishing does let him down. Lulic here to Azak Kesgi, and that is a brilliant pass, and Polidoro tried to nod it back across for Gary Rapper, didn't quite fall for him, and now Ahmad into Raskin, but it's picked off again, and Polidoro into the penalty area. It's a good save from Simon Scuffet, and we look to try and get something from the following corner. Paredes with the corner, swings it into the near post. Graham was there, it's cleared away. Azak Keskin does pick it up, and now Digberiku. Well, chance over clearly, and we've certainly proven ourselves here. So far, the dominant side. We know how dangerous Rangers are, though, and we need to start taking some of these chances. Obviously, Gary Rapper was a risk. He isn't fully fit. Lulic is a risk. He's not been playing well. But in terms of squad options, we haven't got many of them, and it could be that as good as Lulic has been for us, and how dangerous he is down this right hand side, he may end up having to leave the club. As Rainier, with an opportunity for Rangers there just wide of the post, we may have to sell him and get someone that's a little bit more attack minded in relation to finishing. Polidoro, of course, we know how good he can be as a finisher. He can play up front, of course, and that's where some of the rotation will come into play. If Almasi starts up front, or Polidoro, for example, Gary Rapper can play out wide, Cudjoe can come in out wide as well. So we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, Polidoro has had some good performances up front. We've got to remember that. But we just need to tweak the system occasionally just to find that winning routine with our strike force. And as you can see, Lulic and Gararappa today, very, very poor. Kesgin's not seen a lot of the ball either. Ross Graham's not had a good game at centre-back either. But so far, we're the better team, and it's still 0-0. If it finishes 0-0, I'm terribly sorry. It wasn't my intention to show you 2 0-0 draws in succession, but it's the way of the games, and we'll take it, especially against a side of Rangers quality. We are going to have to make some changes here. 20 minutes to go, and O'Donnell's got a yellow card, and in that area of the pitch, we can't afford anything happening there. Mboyamba is going to come on for Ross Graham, who's had a poor performance. Azak Kesgin, I don't really like bringing him off, but he is going to have to come off. We're going to bring Fiorini on. Polidoro is going to come off for Mati Cudjoe. And I think Almasi is going to come on for Gary Rapper. I mean, fair play to Gary Rapper. He's played 70 minutes there. Com completely unexpected for him to last that long, but he's done quite well. We're making all 5 changes in one go, which is always a risk, but hopefully it will work out for us. And the fresh legs, hopefully, especially in that midfield with Fiorini and Almeida, hopefully those fresh legs will do the job for us and see this game out for what it is. Again, as you can see, fitness is going to be key this season. With the Champions League games in midweek and not the biggest of squads, we have offloaded a lot of fringe players. It is going to be tough. Paredes here with a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. Well, I say on the edge, it's 25 yards out. He whips it in, and that is a great effort, and he's hit the crossbar so close from Leandro Paredes. And a potential opportunity maybe here. Mboyamba and Almeida exchanging passes with Quinones. Now Paredes plays it well out wide to Ashcroft. Are we going to get a late winner here? Quinones picks it up. Almeida under pressure. Quinones into Ashcroft again. Plays it down the line here to Lulic. Can he get the cross in? Lulic into Paredes. Oh, just over the bar. It rippled the net, and I thought we had a winner there. It remains 0-0. Paredes, I thought, had done it for us. It wasn't to be, but another solid draw, and our clean sheet run seems to be continuing again. And really, really unlucky, to be quite honest. Um, Again, against the team of Rangers, I'll quite happily take a draw. They are sat in 7th in the league at the moment. They've had a rough start to the campaign. But if I can draw against Rangers 3 times this season, draw against Celtic 3 times this season, as long as we do well in the rest of the games, we'll be there or thereabouts for that top spot. Motherwell have had a phenomenal start to the campaign. They were near the relegation zone last season. They're currently sat in 2nd place, just on goal difference. Celtic, of course, with an opportunity against bottom club St Mirren to hit the top of the league. But again, positives to be taken. Yes, it's 2-0 draws, but it's 2 clean sheets. We have looked good going forward despite not getting the goals. And our Champions League campaign isn't off with a defeat. So a lot to think about, but a lot to be happy about as well. And as you can see, in terms of actual fixtures, we've played, how many games have we played so far competitively? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games so far, and we've conceded 6 goals in 4 games, 4 of those games. So we've had 10 clean sheets in the other matches. I mean, that is some going. We're doing really well overall defensively. We just need to get that little bit more bite in attack. As you can see, 2-0, 3-0, really solid. We've had a couple of 1-0s in there as well, but the 2-0-0s, a little bit of a concern that we're not scoring, but hopefully we can correct that as we go on. In terms of upcoming fixtures, I was planning on doing the Benfica game and the St Johnstone game. Might be a little bit soon. We've done it a little bit soon the last couple of times with obviously the qualifiers. I might miss the Benfica game and we'll come back for the really big game against Paris Saint-Germain at home. We'll probably do Aberdeen at home and Paris Saint-Germain at home. And that'll get 4 games out of the way, including a cup tie and a Champions League tie. And hopefully our good form can continue. So until next time, guys, thank you very much for all your support. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. And this is Big Will signing away.